Is that you done to me? Right here, be right here. What don't you know that you feel? My passion's about to explode. I was just doing a whole lot of work that I felt like I should not be doing with 3 people in the group.
Now, if you don't know about SWV, baby, where have you been? SWV, a short for Sisters with Voices, and trust, they came into the game with vocals so smooth, they had everybody in a chokehold. Straight out of New York, these ladies blew up in the 90s with soulful bangers like Weak and Right Here. They were that R&B girl group everybody was vibing to. But behind all that harmony, things got messy. Fame, egos, and some serious money drama almost tore them apart. Want to know how the sisterhood nearly snapped? Just grab your popcorn and let's get digging. In the early 90s, a group of young women from New York came together to make history in R&B. The whole thing started with Cheryl, Coco, and Leanne Lely, 2 bold, talented ladies with big dreams. Coco eventually brought in Tamara Taj Johnson.
And Taj, you had to audition for the group?
I did. They had another girl who, yeah.
And for a short while, there was even a 4th girl named Samantha in the mix. But sis didn't stick around and quietly disappeared from the scene for reasons nobody really knows. The ladies weren't sitting around waiting on luck either. With their manager Maureen Singleton by their side, they got crafty.
When we first got in the music industry, we wanted to be everybody.
Yeah, we wanted to be in Vogue. Always sure how to group the girl.
They couldn't afford no fancy champagne, so they sent their demo tapes to record executives all across the country, paired with Perrier bottles, just to make an impression. Smart, right? That creative hustle paid off big when RCA invited them to perform live in 1991. They blew everyone away and landed themselves a massive 8-album deal. From there, it was go time. By 1992, their debut album, It's About Time, hit the streets, and let's just say, the game changed. The album was a total hit, going multi-platinum. Their first single, Right Here, didn't just warm things up, it climbed the R&B charts and got people talking.
You released your first album, and did the success happen overnight?
Yeah. It seemed like it, yeah. Our first single,
But the next track, I'm So Into You, really put them on the map, peaking near the top of both the R&B and Billboard Hot 100 charts. And just when folks thought they'd seen it all, Weak came through and snatched that #1 spot on both the R&B and pop charts. That song had everybody in their feelings. But SWV wasn't done, baby. They flipped Right Here into a remix with a Michael Jackson Human Nature sample, and it was straight fire. Even Pharrell popped up on the UK remix. That hit held the R&B charts down for 7 weeks. More bops followed: Downtown, You're Always on My Mind, and anything from the Above the Rim soundtrack. They even dropped a gold remix album and teamed up with Blackstreet and the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. By '96, they came through with New Beginning, and the single You're the One hit hard. That song climbed its way up to #5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and even snatched the #1 spot on the R&B chart. It was one of those joints that confirmed these girls weren't just a one-album wonder. Then came Use Your Heart, and honey, this track was extra special because it marked the debut of the now legendary producers, the Neptunes. Even back then, they were cooking up heat. That song didn't disappoint either. It held down the #6 spot on the R&B chart and reached #22 on the Hot 100. The final single from that album, It's All About You, gave Taj her time to shine, taking the lead vocals instead of Coco, and she did her thing. The whole album did so well, it went platinum in the US, meaning it moved 1 million copies, and that's major. But wait, the girls weren't done. In July 1997, they came back swinging with their 3rd studio album, Release Some Tension, and this one was packed with big names.
that we would want to work with on the album, producers, rappers, whoever, and RCA.
They had features from the likes of E40, Missy Elliott, Foxy Brown, Lil' Kim, Redman, Snoop Dogg, and even Lil Cease. Talk about star power, because they gave us some bops on this album too.
And they put us all together, and that's how you got the 9 rappers on the album.
Rain was definitely a standout, using a beautiful sample from Jaco Pastoria's Portrait of Tracy. Someone was another big one, and while folks expected it to be huge, it only managed to reach number 19 on the Billboard charts. Still, it had that iconic Biggie sample from 10 Crack Commandments mixed with Philantra by Les McCann, so it had flavor. Can We made its first appearance on the Booty Call movie soundtrack, and there was a song called Lose My Cool that was supposed to be a single but got canceled for some reason. The track When You Cry even sampled Tyrone Davis's In the Mood. Even though it didn't go as big as the last album, it still sold 500,000 copies and went gold. And then, just before things started crumbling, they dropped a Christmas album on November 18th, 1997, called A Special Christmas, a mix of covers and original holiday tunes. It was cute, festive, and sadly, one of the last projects they did together before splitting up the following year. So, after the ladies of SWV called it quits in 1998, they each went their own way, doing their own thing. With the way everything went sideways, you could tell something was off. Lily and Taj later spilled that their label was trying to push Coco out front like she was the Diana Ross of the group, and it caused major tension.
After they recorded the song, Coco will be called back into the studio.
The favoritism didn't sit well with the others, and it only added to the drama they were already dealing with. Taj even joked that they were arguing about everything, from the sun, the moon, to the stars. Literally anything could spark a fight. At the end of the day, SWV just couldn't keep it all together. Coco went ahead and signed a solo deal, but she swore up and down that it wasn't why they split. Still, she later confessed the group had lost all communication and the sisterhood was gone. Turns out, a big chunk of the drama came from messy money issues, fights over who got what and how things were handled behind the scenes. On top of that, the ladies didn't hold back saying Coco's ego played a part too.
I had this attitude like, how dare you think that I don't have nothing? I've been singing all my life.
And honestly, she confirmed it herself in her 2019 memoir. And after this drama, Coco, the powerhouse voice of the group, didn't waste time. She went solo and dropped her first album, Hot Coco, in August of '99 under RCA. She even dedicated her lead single Sunshine to her son Jazz, and it did okay, hitting the top 40 on the R&B charts. But honestly, the album didn't blow up like her stuff with SWV, and it just didn't catch that same fire. She started working on another project called Music Doll in 2001, but things took a turn when RCA shut down their black music division, so that whole album got shelved. After that, Coco decided to slow it down and focus more on her family life. She ended up marrying gospel producer and drummer Big Mike Clemens, who's also the dad of her second son, Jalen, and now she's living in Virginia Beach. She didn't fully disappear, though. Coco kept her voice alive by doing a remake of Tears in Heaven with her mama, Lady Clyde Tibba Gamble, and popped up on albums with gospel artists like Tremaine Hawkins and Patti LaBelle. By 2006, she dropped her first gospel album, Grateful, and it actually hit number 5 on Billboard's Top Independent Albums chart. That record had a hot version of Endow Me featuring Faith Evans, Fantasia, and Lil Mo. She also toured in Japan, sang on stage with the Vagina Monologues cast, and even showed up on BET's Celebration of Gospel. Then, in 2005, the SWV girls decided to come back together and teased a new album, though it never dropped. Still, they hit the stage again, did shows with Blackstreet, Bobby Brown, and New Edition. Taj even had her own reality show, I Married a Baller, with her NFL hubby Eddie George. The girls later popped up at the 2008 BET Awards, sharing the stage with Alicia Keys and girl group legends in Vogue and TLC. Taj even competed on Survivor Tocantins, made it to 4th place, and became a jury member. The group kept performing here and there. including a soulful moment on The Monique Show, where Coco and Lily led the vocals on a Patti LaBelle classic. By 2011, the SWV girls were ready to shake things up again and signed a new deal with Mass Appeal Entertainment and E1. Not long after, they jumped on the remix of Chris Brown's She Ain't You, which cleverly sampled their old hit Right Here, Human Nature, and the vibe was just right. They dropped their comeback single, Cosign, in December 2011 on iTunes, teasing fans with what was coming on their fourth album, I Missed Us. And y'all, it wasn't just hype. VH1 gave them a shout-out, ranking them number 88 on their list of the greatest women in music, while Billboard called them the number 7 R&B act of the 90s and the second top-selling female R&B group of the whole decade. When I Missed Us finally dropped in April 2012, the girls were glowing. They hit the Wendy Williams show the same day to promote it and perform Cosign, and fans ate it up. The album shot to number 1 on iTunes R&B chart. Later that summer, they announced their next single, Love Unconditionally, and VH1 showed more love by placing their throwback banger, I'm So Into You, at number 18 on their greatest 90s R&B songs list. The ladies kept the momentum going. They hit the Black Girls Rock stage in 2012 and then turned all the way up in 2013 when they announced their very own reality show with WeTV. SWV Reunited launched in 2014 and gave fans a peek into their personal drama, trust issues, family life, career struggles, and even Coco's hesitation to do secular music again. By 2015, the show got canceled, but not before the ladies gave fans a taste of Ain't No Man and teased their new album, Still, which officially dropped in 2016. They later linked with Belle Biv DeVoe in 2017 for a track and got honored with the Lady of Soul Award. Then, in 2019, they teamed up with Salt and Peppa for another reality show called Ladies Night.
We don't have a problem giving that respect. Like, we come into the we know that. We know our position.
And by 2021, they were trending again thanks to their versus battle with Xscape, giving the fans pure nostalgic magic. After that fire versus face-off with Xscape, in May 2021, SWV really started shining again like the queens they are. So, the ladies of SWV are still out here shining. Coco's chillin' in Virginia Beach, juggling her music grind and family life like a boss. Taj is in Nashville, living her best life as a singer, author, and wifey to NFL legend Eddie George. And Lily, she's repping Atlanta, still active in the game and vibing with fans. Money-wise, they're doing just fine. Coco's sitting on $10 million, Taj got around $6 million, and Lily's holding strong with $6 million as well. Put that all together, and the group's worth over $32 million. Not bad for some 90s queens still making moves.
Settled on Sisters with Voices, aka SWV.
Their legacy isn't only evident in their net worth, because SWV been killing it with the awards. In '93, their debut album snatched 11 Billboard noms. Then came Grammy Love, 3 nominations. And in 2017, they got that Lady of Soul Award at the Soul Train Awards. These ladies been legendary, and the industry knows it. And just when you thought they'd chill, nah, they turned all the way up. In 2024, they hit the road for a major R&B comeback tour alongside Xscape called the Queens of R&B Tour, and it was a whole vibe. 30 cities, big names like Maya, 702, and Total tagging along, and major stops like Madison Square Garden and the Kia Forum. They even dropped a soulful Tiny Desk performance and rocked the Essence Fest. And sis, they ain't done. 2025 is lit too, with shows lined up in Indianapolis and Philly. With these moves, we already know that these sisters ain't slowing down. They're still serving R&B magic like it's the 90s all over again.